So yeah, let's continue to be on time and to talk more about the real estate, and this time the speakers will discuss Bengaluru residential market, presenting the emerging trends and year-end analysis. The session will be moderated by Mayank, Saksena, Managing Director, Land Transaction, Anarock Property Consultants Private Limited. With over 2 decades of expertise in the real estate industry, Mayank brings a wealth of experience. Holds a master degree in urban planning from the School of Planning, Ahmedabad. Throughout his career, Mayank has successfully spearheaded and established multiple ventures in retail, residential land, and capital markets operating on a national scale. Can you give it up for Mayank Saksena, please? And our speakers in alphabetical order, please. I would like to welcome Farook, Mahmood, CMD, Silverline Group, Chairman Emeritus and Founder, President, India. Who's been in the real estate business for over 43 years and was the world president, FRICS, that represents 70 countries covering all 4 verticals of real estate. Let's give it out for Farook, Mahmood, please. Our next speaker, let's give it out for Kishore, Jain, Managing Director, Jain Heights. And Kishore is the brain behind the company and has been in the industry since 1994. I was still studying, having more than 25 years of business expertise in the field of real estate construction and development of residential, luxurious apartments and commercial projects to his credit. We welcome you, sir. Let's also put our hands together for Mallanna, Sasalu, CEO of Provident Housing. Mallanna, the dynamic CEO of Provident Housing Limited, helps operation across 9 cities, overseeing an impressive portfolio of 12 million plus square feet of residential development. Welcome, welcome. It's amazing to have you over here. And also let's keep clapping for Rajendra, Joshi, CEO, Bengaluru, Lodha Group. Rajendra has over 20 years experience in FMCG and real estate. His expertise lies in developing team systems and processes for improving business efficiency in delivering business results. 2 more speakers, and that means we have to all put our hands together twice. Let's give it up for Srinivasan, Gopalan, Chairman, ArisUnitern Real Estate Solutions. Srinivasan has more than 25 years of experience, of which over 15 years is in the real estate sector. His roles as CEO, COO, and CFO of leading real estate developers in Bangalore and Mumbai has been at the forefront of leading the real estate development business across all asset classes. We welcome you. And let's put our hands together for the last speaker in this panel, Sudheer, Madamaiah, partner, Khaitan and Company. Sudheer is a partner in the real estate group in the Bengaluru office, specializes in advising clients on all real estate transactions, development contracts, title verification and advisory on RERA. I now request our moderator to please take over the proceedings. Yeah, and to all of you, to give it out to them to have a wonderful session over here, please. Thank you.
Actually, good morning, everyone. And I was just hoping that we start with good morning and not with afternoon. So luckily we're 2 minutes before that. Thank you, Tripti, Sapna, and Reality Plus for organizing such an amazing event. And I'm surprised to see that we are house full, which is great. When I was going through the session, I realized that I have to do a lot of work before I come on this dais to moderate the session, because everybody over here from the panelists probably have more number of experience than, so when I was going through each one of them, I realized that the amount of years that they put in the industry is amazing, because I was probably in school and not even able to imagine that I will be coming and getting a session to do with them. So hats off to each one of you for transforming and working in this industry for more or less over 30 years in this space. And then secondly, when I was attending the session run by Shwindar, I realized he's made my job all the more difficult by doing such a great session to start the day with. So with that, I understand we are probably the best times for the industry, because housing sales in India has not been ever so good. So probably in 15 years, first time we are seeing such a huge amount of volume being transacted, year on year, which is amazing. And I think so what a long relief, because we had a long, huge lull before COVID. And after COVID, we saw a transformation and the residential boom started picking up in our country, which is now the thing, and I think it's a great moment for all of us. But with that, also the problem comes. Because I think so in our industry, while you start designing and planning, and when you deliver your product, it almost takes 3 to 4 years. And then you have to do crystal ball gazing to ensure that whatever you are delivering at that moment has to be appropriate from the client's perspective and their client's demand. Which I feel is a very unique thing that happens in industry, which is not so much for the other industries. Making it more and more important for people in this industry to go back and work and at least be right on their fundamentals so that whatever is getting delivered is more time appropriate. With that, I would like to probably start with my panel and ask each of the panelists few questions to kickstart with and ensure that we deliver and close our session on the time so that we all can catch up our lunch. I would like to start with Srinivasan because Srini, when I was seeing your profile, I realized that you have been wearing various hats over the last 30-35 years, and then suddenly you decided to change the gears and start a business which was probably never done in this industry. And first time you and Naveen got together to put a foundation for something very new, something very different, and something which probably you people would definitely have believed, but maybe industry must be thinking what is up to these guys. So with that, if you can help us.
So, good morning all of you, and thanks for inviting me. My good words from you, I'm happy to hear those. I don't know how true these are. However, Mayank, everything happens by an accident. What do you call? COVID was the time when everyone was introspecting and for working for someone else, and that's where we started. And we saw this huge gap that there needs to be a professional setup for a developer to take care of every aspect of business. Even if it is approval, there is a professional way of doing it, and there is a way where we can bring in technology into each one of these and resolve issues. So that was the spark where we said that, and during that time there were so many projects which were stuck projects. So we believed that we have the ability to analyze these stuck projects and take it to the logical conclusion. So this was the spark, and that's where we believed that we have the ability and we will build the ability to get there. And 3.5 years now, we are working on 14 projects. We have delivered 4 projects, and I think our belief is coming true. So thanks to Almighty.
I think everybody in this room would like and wish for such an accident, Shani. so we start, from such a great start and build an organization in such a short span. You guys have done wonders. My second question is to Mr. Farook. Probably, when I was reading about you, I realized that you had come into this industry when this industry was probably, especially the broking side of the industry, was like quite an untouchable industry. But still, you made so much of a difference in this industry over a period of 30-35 years. And you have been all along working in Bangalore, so probably nobody knows Bangalore better than you, because you would have the ability to see the city from various sides at various timelines. How do you see the demographic shift? Because Bangalore probably is the most youngest city in the country with the highest immigration. So what, according to you, has been the demographic shift in the city? And how does it influence the type of residential properties, which are there in demand and, probably going to be?
Thank you, Mayank, for making me feel so old. Thanks, Tripti and Sapna, for doing a wonderful job as usual. You guys have been really great. Coming to your question, I joined this business 1979, so I don't think some of you were even born then. It's been a real transformation because at that point of time, broking was not seen to be the best of professions to be in. People would look at it as, an inferior kind of a profession to be in. But by God's grace, I think no profession is inferior as long as you can carry yourself with dignity, be honest about what you're doing, and transparent, and make sure that you deliver quality and client satisfaction. the most important thing at the end of the day that changes this transformation. A friend of mine was telling me, then in a matrimonial thing when he said that he's a real estate broker, it wasn't very encouraging to see the amount of girls that were willing to marry him. And so I guess we're the bankers when they look at you at first. But I think at the end of the day, this transformation is happening where you see the new age broker or the realtor or the channel partner or the estate agent. I mean, we call it different names. And, the most important thing is honesty, integrity, and services that we provide, which you get to formulate a part of. You become an extension of families that you initially deal with. I'm dealing with the third generation in some businesses where they've come and we've helped them. I still remember a case where a lady migrated from Bombay. We got her a house. We got her kids school, an admission in a school, and one of them is now a surgeon in a leading hospital here, and they started a couple of retail outlets. The kids have now migrated overseas. So you build relationships over years, and these relationships, I think, get you more business, get you more value. And talking about the growth of the city, I would say, a couple of transactions that I've done, 15 rupees a square foot in 100 feet road in the, I mean, you don't even get rentals. I've sold it myself. Mini Crescent I've sold for about 25 rupees a square foot. That's in town, Jain. And I've sold off MG Road, Rest House Road for about 35 rupees a square foot, 10,000 square feet, bungalow for 3.5 lakhs. So, I mean, these are all figures that one can't even dream of or think that this guy's, talking from another age. But we've seen these numbers. Talking about what your question is about how it's evolved. I would say one of the better cities in India from a point of view of development. The developers here are more quality conscious, they're more conscious of what amenities that they provide, and they're doing this with a reason, because if developer X is developing a swimming pool, the developer Y is adding a heated swimming pool, somebody is putting a jogging track. The customer here is very, very careful, he's very, very educated, and he knows what he wants. You can't just go and sell ice cream to the Eskimos here. They know what they want and they're willing to pay the price. And I think it's value for money even at today's prices that Bangalore is selling for the kind of construction quality that's coming in. If you take a project from the inception, from the plan standards, I would say from the rarer clearances to the completion, you generally pass 3 to 4 budgets. The cost increase in that is phenomenal. And the developer has to bear that. And at the end of the day, I know, because I've been associated, affiliated with many projects of different capacities. And certain projects you don't make that much of money that you anticipate making at the end of the day because of the cost overruns. The COVID, I call it the period of BC and AC. BC is before COVID and AC is after COVID. People have now begun to look at things and treating life with a different perspective. They feel that leaving that money or wanting to make much more money, they're wanting to live better lives. People are upgrading from a 1-bedroom to a 2-bedroom, a 2-bedroom to a 3-bedroom. People are buying second homes, third homes, holiday homes. People have now realized that life is so short and they want to live well and they want to enjoy their money. And tomorrow is another story. I'm not saying they're careless, but what I'm trying to say is the difference of being conservative and the difference today of being more liberal on spending, because you believe that you have one life and you need to live well to make sure that you take care of everything well. The costs have shot up. I can give you the numbers that I've showed you. The maximum sales that we have done in the past couple of months have been high-end homes. And this has been something phenomenal. There's an insatiable appetite for people wanting to buy extremely high-end homes. And when I'm talking high-end homes, I'm talking about certain buildings going up to 40 crores. Okay, this is one-of-a-kind building, but what I'm saying is, one never thought that one would spend 40 crores on a residential apartment in a building like Bangalore. But this is true. These is happening, and this is here to stay, and the prices are still going to go up because previously I think one of the speakers mentioned that there was markets corrected itself to the positive, and like they say, water always finds its own level. So if something's going to be pushed down the throat of the market, it's not going to adapt. But then the flip side of it you've got to see is the affordability factor. How many people are there who can afford 40 crores or even 4 crores for that matter? I mean, the average home buyer is looking for something between 25 to 65 lakhs. And, I think here what makes all the difference is the logistics, like the metro line moving in to this park, and people will be able to afford if you're in Whitefield and it's costing you about 80 lakhs, and if you move 4 kilometers away and it's costing you 45 lakhs. I think that person won't mind sitting down on that metro for another 7 minutes or 10 minutes, buy a home for a lesser price, with the same amount of amenities, same amount of same quality of construction. So I think it's evolving day to day, and the developers are doing a marvelous job of upgrading their facilities. They're trying to see what the customer wants, and they're giving it to him more than what he can kind of digest at the moment. And each one is trying to outdo the other to give better amenities so that they get the customer attention. And the future of this particular market, I think, I see a 10-year horizon. People said that, how can you crystal gaze? But I think the whole world is in shambles right now, and India is the only economy that's growing at the pace that we are going. We've got other internal issues, we've got elections, we've got stability factors, we've got so many other issues. But I think this decade is the decade of India, and it will remain so.
Amazing, Mr. Farook. I genuinely would love that what you said should come true, so that let the decade be the decade for India. And interestingly, while you were giving your thoughts, you certainly brought smile to both the developer friends on the panel. So one second, Mr. Joshi, was shining to know that 40 crore apartments are being bought in Bangalore, and probably they are the guys who work in luxury. So definitely for them, the clientele is there. And on the other side, Mr. Kishore, and probably somehow your strategy made both of them sit next to you. So probably Mr. Kishore was also excited, saying that fantastic, because his organization has always been focusing on design and what the client needs and the client changes. And probably he was really excited to hear from you that this market is cognizant of such things. With that, Mr. Kishore, probably a question to you. That in this time when the clients keeps on changing their preferences, and architecture design and landscaping and amenities and facilities become such important part from a product. What are your views that your product, how you can keep on making more and more appealing to the Bangalore market, and what are some of the elements which are the basic foundation that one has to keep in mind while delivering a product for today's client?
Good morning to all of you. Thank you, Sapna, Tripti. I was just seeing even the consistent conclave which you are doing, including the COVID period. Congratulations to Realty Plus. And for a change, next time probably Mayank can be part of panel rather than every time he become a moderator. Sometimes we love to listen from him also. Right. The real estate run has started post 2000. If you see Bangalore before 2000, it was typical brick and mortar building, G+3, and probably the highest would be like G+10, 12 or so. And 22 decades later, what you could see Bangalore, the skyline of Bangalore has been completely changed. The kind of glazed building, the tall building, those are the significant and visible changes you could see in the skyline of Bangalore. I realized, I remember in 2008, we were designing a 24-story residential tower. And the question which we had in mind, because at the time we were probably the first or second tallest building in the whole country. So the main question was whether the customer will accept, the market will accept this kind of tall structure. And somehow we took that plunge with the faith and conviction and started the project of 24-story, and the market has received well. So historically, the Bangalore market has always accepted any kind of novelty, any kind of innovative thoughts, and always looking for experimenting. So this is what was the market potential and the market demand and acceptance level, adaptability to the new thing. One more change which we could see in the last 2 decades, which is a Vastu principle. Earlier, nobody was there to believe what is Vastu, and I could hear a lot of things. Vastu is a BS, so nobody used to take care of it. And now the millennials, if you could see the sales demography, 40% of the sales will be to the millennials who won't believe in Vastu, but still, when they come for purchase, not even they look at the main door entry of north and east, even the commode position also they look. So commode position, sleeping side, when we ask them, when we confront them, they say whether I believe or not, but I realize this is the law of nature. It's like law of gravity. Whether you believe or not, this law exists. The same thing is with the Vastu. I think majorly every major development at design level are thinking how to align with the magnetic forces of the earth. There's nothing belief or anything. It's a pure science. How you can be aligned. Even I could see from last 1 decade and above, even the designers, we are at design level only seeing how the sun will be moving, how is the lights, how the ventilation will be happening in those buildings, and how from southwest to northeast the wind movement, how the ventilation in terms of air will be taken care. So those kind of intricacies were involved at the design level itself. This is one big change we could see in the last 2 decades. And of course, Bangalore has always said no to any kind of compact homes. Even the global or even the cities like Mumbai or Chennai, you have a full AC, centralized AC homes. In fact, that has been really negated by the Bangalore market, except 1 or 2. Otherwise, nobody is looking for development of complete, fully AC homes. That has been experimented and failed drastically in the Bangalore real estate market. And of course, post-COVID, or as Farook said, after COVID, AC. I think everybody is looking for more green, more openness, and larger spaces rather than being just in the pigeonhole. So they are looking for more larger spaces. In fact, for the first time in the country, the affordable housing, the compact houses, the demand of those has been reduced. The mid segment and the luxury segment, in fact, the mid segment has surpassed. Historically, always we see the affordable housing was always in demand in higher percentage. But for the first time, we could see the mid segment has crossed the demand. And there is scope for luxury, ultra luxury, and whatnot. In terms of amenities, 2 decades before, having a swimming pool was the ultra luxury. And that used to happen in only the large complexes. Now we could see, even a G+3 apartment will have a rooftop swimming pool. And the list of amenities is exhaustive like that. Whatever you want, everything is available. In fact, there are layout projects where you have a football ground. I'm just waiting to see someone build up a cricket stadium in a large development. That also is a possibility. So those kind of amenities are there, and developer is continuously working. What else, what more I can give it to customer, how I can pamper them, how I can meet their aspirations. Those are the changes which have been witnessed. A decade before, we didn't know the meaning of sustainability. What is sustainability? Nobody was aware as such. Thanks to COP and awareness and the pledge from the government, I think every developer, the new design, everybody is focusing more on the how to make it net zero, what can be done, how we can be more responsible towards the environment or the planet Earth where we all live. So those significant mindset changes has come, and the space planning, being more efficient. In fact, the Bangalore real estate market has always been very, very highly efficient in terms of utilization value. Always we were at 21, 22%, unlike those other metros which has got efficiency of 35% and somewhere it can reach up to 50%, which is not the case in Bangalore. Even customer is more literate, well informed. I remember in one of the projects, one of the architects checked. For 7 days she took time and checked all the aspects, how the efficiency gave around 21%. The good thing is when she was convinced, she was become our evangelist and convinced more than 300 customers. This is the most efficient building in terms of space utilization. There is no scope for any kind of negative spaces. And customers of late are looking not only horizontal, even the vertical space. There was a demand also. How we can have a double height duplex, even in some of the apartments there is maybe demand for triplex penthouses also. So those kind of experimentation and new thing is coming to the Bangalore.
Thank you, Kishore, for such important insights in the demand side. And thank you for recommendation to Sapna for getting me included into the moderator, instead of moderator being the panelist. I was actually requesting the same thing to Sapna, but then she told me that I think I'm short of 1 decade or more experience. So probably I'll have to, for 1 more decade I have to be a moderator and then come and become a panelist. Thank you for the kindness. So with that, what I'm realizing that what you just said are so relevant. And probably makes the job of a friend on the panel, Mr. Mallanna, more and more difficult because he represents affordable. And imagine, in affordable housing, for Mallanna to ensure that he balances affordability, luxury, amenities, facilities. I don't know, Mallanna, how you are able to do all this. Probably we would request to hear from you that what is this secret spice and how you're able to manage that still Provident does such great work in terms of product, in terms of delivery, in terms of sales, in terms of ensuring that the flag on affordable housing is really up high.
Yeah, thank you, Mayank, and thank you, Tripti and Sapna, for this opportunity. And first of all, this affordable housing, let's get this one out of the window, that is the myth and the reality of the affordable housing. So, as Provident started in 2006 to build affordable housing, and probably that was a term coined by Boravankara. It continued till 2013. If you look back at the history of this, in 2013, the BJP government came in and our Honorable Prime Minister came up with the idea of affordable housing. That affordable housing went on attracting a couple of other terminologies like economically weaker section, that is your EWS, lower income group, which is LIG, and mid-income group, MIG, and also came up with the idea of parental subsidy schemes and many other schemes which for the developers, for the government bodies to develop affordable housing. So the affordable housing definition which Provident had got completely diluted by the middle of 2015, that we didn't know whether we were going or we were coming. So it's very important to understand and define what is affordable housing as of today. So in 2007-2008, Provident started this project called Wellworth. It's 3,000 units on the Bengaluru road. I was an outsider then. I thought that this is a sure way of going bankrupt. Because who's going to buy an apartment in Bengaluru? Mind you, the infrastructure as of today was not it was in 2006. In fact, 2006-2007, Bangalore opened the international airport without having proper access to international airport from the city. So those were the times. But Provident did extremely well against everybody's notion that it will fail. So from there on, in 2012, 2013, 2014, the company had to take another turn and understand and define what is affordable housing. In 2007, it was sold for 2-bedroom apartment was sold at 18 to 19 lakhs rupees. And today, if you really look at it, after 16 years, the affordable housing must have moved up to 60 to 65 lakhs rupees. Even if you apply normal rate of inflation, that is what would be the affordable housing, around 65 lakhs. What is happening in the industry, happening everywhere, is we continue to think that affordable housing means should be less than 45 lakhs. It's impossible. It is not going to happen. So while that we were going against doing about the affordable housing, the developers, the entire developer community, who were looking at higher segment and the luxury segment, they all came down to this segment of mid-income group housing or the affordable housing. Today, to be looking at affordable housing, I would define that from somewhere between 45 lakhs rupees to 1.10 crore rupees in all metropolitan cities in the country. You should call them affordable housing. If that is the affordable housing, if 45 lakhs to 1.10 crore rupees is affordable housing, then there are no affordable developers in the country at all. Or you can also say that all developers are in the affordable housing category. So this whole idea of this affordable housing, I think we need to redefine and we need to look at it. The question here is, why Provident? You know, we have the tag of affordable housing, yes. Our concentration is only from that 45 lakhs rupees to 1.10, 1.20 crore bracket. 95 to 98% of our all stocks are built within that. And our average goes from somewhere between 70 to 75 lakhs rupees per unit, and that's our average. So how do we go forward? How do we differentiate ourselves? The question here is about, we cannot go back and now reduce and build the small-sized units and which are not acceptable. We have to build a livable house. Just to make it affordable, continuously reduce the size of the apartment will not give us any kind of market or market share with that kind of product. We have to build livable house. We have to give value to the customers in a measurable way. And that's where Provident is heading. For every rupee that a customer spends, our idea is we should be the greatest value providers in affordable housing. With regards to the growth, so if you really look at the numbers, what has happened is from 2020 to now, that is what was in affordable housing, that was considered affordable housing, that is below 50 lakhs, it's gone down from around 40% to around 21%. It's not gone down, it is just that the market has moved upwards. And if you look at from 50 lakhs rupees to 1 crore rupee, the market has now expanded from around 39% to 50%. And if you look at from 1 crore rupee to 2 crore rupees, it's gone up from around 40% to 35% to around 45%. There, most of the sales are happening between 1 and 1.3 crores. And overall, the addressable market for affordable housing, that is 45 lakhs rupees to 1.2, is around 55 to 58% in the entire country, and most developers are participating in this.
Amazing, Mallanna. You know, it's really great to hear that, you know, the affordability numbers are changing so drastically. You know, imagine hearing that probably an apartment which is worth 1 crore is still, you know, an affordable apartment. It's stunning. With that, I would like to probably ask Mr. Joshi, because he is just on the opposite side of the spectrum. Guys, when it comes to luxury in India, probably Lodha is one group which easily defines what luxury is. I had the pleasure of seeing some of their projects in Bombay. Amazing work done by them. And Mr. Joshi decided to wear the hat for the group in Bangalore and decided to take it head on. Mr. Joshi, I would request to understand from your side that, you know, what is luxury real estate probably in Bangalore? What is the meaning of it? Like what Mallanna said, that 1 crore probably for affordable. So now, I used to always think 1 crore is luxury in Bangalore, but then, you know, I have been corrected. And it's very affordable. And then what are the luxury residential, you know, amenities or the features or the trends that people are actually expecting from you people? Because now you people have to do luxury, so probably, you know, you people definitely must be doing something much more or different from what affordable is doing.
So thanks, Mayank. I think the reason why Saksena gets you to moderate is that you make people speak the way you make people spend on lakhs. So that's why I think you want to moderate our audience.
Thank you.
Thanks for that introduction. Yes, Lodha is known for luxury, but I think one side that is not known really is that we have a large mid and affordable housing segment. Almost 35-40% of our business does come from the segment that Mallanna was talking about. That segment will continue and will continue to prosper. I don't think that's ever going to change in our growing economy. Coming to Bangalore market, something that I have worked for the last 4.5 years. I think the market has evolved substantially, and if you look at data, the average price in Bangalore has moved up by about 50%, from about 5,000 to about 7,500 over the last 4 or 5 years. Market size is nearly doubled. So therefore we believe that there is a strong market, there is a strong segment for what we would call as the higher end segment, not necessarily luxury. We believe that Bangalore as a market has a great room for, say, 2 crores upwards. Correct? That's the segment that we think we would be able to play strongly, because that's something that we are very, very good at. The customer in this segment, particularly in Bangalore, as Farook rightly said, is very discerning. He is highly educated, and most of our customers come from the IT/ITES sector. They know what they are paying for, and therefore if you are looking to sell such customer a product which is 2 crores upwards, first obviously you look for quality, delivery, all of that, which many Bangalore developers do. In fact, I would concur with Farook that Bangalore probably is one of the most evolved markets. I've had the fortune of working in almost all major metro cities in the country. He would look for service levels. I think what customer today looks for, and people like Amazon, everybody else has followed them, is the levels of service that you will deliver at the time you book a product, at the time that the construction goes on, and most importantly, post handing it over. I think the customer in the premium segment looks for a good quality product, all the amenities that my co-panelists will talk about. But I think more important is how is the product maintained post delivery. I think that's something that is very important, and that's something that we at Lodha take special pride on. We are good in designing, we are good in building. We've built probably India's tallest residential tower. We sell probably the most expensive units. We sold a unit for about 250 crores in the Malabar Hills. All that is true, but I think what will differentiate us will be the service.